Welcome. It's the Illblurmatic, Matic. It's the illest blurred in the land. Welcome back to Illblurmatic. Welcome back, legends. Let's get into today's new video. Today's new video is gonna be based on one of my favorite TV shows from Nick, Avatar: The Last Airbender. And you know what? Honestly, I didn't have high expectations for this live adaptation series because honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of live adaptations at all. And the other thing is, once I found out the creators left the series, due to creative differences that they had with Netflix, I had low expectations. But let's get into it. Avatar: The Last Airbender live adaptation was disappointing. No wonder the creators left. I saw the first episode, and let me tell you, I'm gonna talk about it. So the first thing that I noticed with this did not have the same storyline as the animated movie. Not animated movie, excuse me, animated series episode 1. I felt like honestly we did not see enough of Katara and Sokka at the start of the episode. I'm like, when did we see this war taking place with the earth and firebenders? I get that it does deal with the firebenders being the villains, of course, but I'm like, I don't remember this from the first episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the animated series. And I was like, yep. So Netflix just said, y'all left due to creative differences. Now we're going to make a remix telling of your show and what we want to do with it. Netflix, the streaming entity, right? This didn't work. This was poorly executed. It seemed like they wanted to add more fat to the story of showing what the war was like between the firebenders. We know how vicious the firebenders is. Do we need a picture to tell us of what took place with them? No, because we already knew how fierce the firebenders were in this world. All right. So that was one of the problems I did not like about this. I felt like with Katara and Sokka, we should have saw more of them in the first episode, and it was not enough. Okay. Now, the most interesting thing with this episode is something that I said, I don't remember. I don't remember Aang flying. I do not remember Aang flying. So, the only character in the Avatar universe that we've known to fly was Zaire. Zaire was the first airbender that we saw that was flying. Not Aang. Aang was using a glider. But Netflix said, no, we gonna have him not have earthly tellers no more. He gonna be flying. I was like, whoa. Netflix, y'all got some explaining to do. I was like, when did Aang start flying? Like, oh my God, this is crappy. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, so Aang is flying? He don't need a glider. There's no point in him even having a glider in this series. Netflix, y'all should have just said, hey, this include the glider. Yeah, that was the other issue I saw with this. But let's get into the characters. Honestly, I like what they did with Katara. Katara actually did a Katara job. The actress, I should say, played a decent Katara. Only if she would have been a sister, it probably would have been a bit better, because Katara and Sokka are brown-skinned. But overall, she looked like Katara. She had her mannerisms to some degree. That did work. Now, with Sokka, I was let down. I felt like Sokka had the warrior side to him and the goofiness. And when I saw that he did not necessarily have that with his character, I was like, So y'all nerfed this character. They said, we ain't gonna give you silly, goofy warrior, but serious at some point, Sokka. And I'm like, I don't remember Sokka being this serious. Why so serious? Why are you so serious? Woo, Netflix, y'all out here remixing my characters in the show. Mm, 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 mm. Here we go again, Netflix. The other problem I saw with this show is how they treated Aang. They made Aang feel like he was a prodigy, avatar, well, prodigy airbender. Korra was a prodigy, avatar. Aang was not a prodigy, maybe an airbending from what their supposed story that they're concluding to, right? But I was just like, yeah, Korra was, but he wasn't. So they must have took elements from Avatar, Legend of Korra, and they said we're gonna give him flying. He's gonna be his prodigy Avatar. I should say student to the Airbenders. Yeah, they out here taking from season 2. of another version of the next incarnation of Avatar. Let's talk about the CGI for a minute. So the CGI for this it's mixed. It's a mixed bag for me. I like how they use the water bending, earth bending, fire bending. Like that element of it. That looked really good. They look like they spent a bit more money on that aspect for the show. Honestly, when I look at it now, I'm like, so they spent some money for the CGI, even the costumes, by the way. Some of the costumes look pretty accurate to the actual series, the animated series. Now, the bit of a letdown for the CGI, I would have to say, is what they did with Appa. Appa looked a little bit weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get he's a furry air bison, all right? Let me just say that. I get that. But it felt like they took that same CGI, maybe from like, I don't know if they used people from Sonic or the Detective Pikachu, excuse me. Maybe that's what I was getting. It looked a little on the weird, wonky side of things. And I'm like, well, all right, Appa, he looks all right. But also, I forgot to talk about this. Let's talk about the villains. Zuko had Zuko down pat. He had the mannerism of Zuko, the seriousness, him being a firebender. I like what they did with Zuko. I think Zuko really felt like Zuko. Like he like I said, like how Katara felt like Katara, Zuko felt the same way in that way. Iroh, Uncle Iroh, no. They really dumbed down his character, meaning that they changed him too much, where he wasn't really giving out jewels of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? And he's not as comedic. He's a little bit more on a serious side of things. And I'm like, I wish y'all wouldn't have messed with Uncle Iroh. I wish they would have kept him the way he was. And that's the problem I saw with it as well. But overall, I gotta say, I was not impressed with this show. Once the creators left, Brian, and Michael, I felt like this show was supposed to have been way better than what Netflix was letting on. I guess Brian and Michael said, "Oh, y'all not gonna give us full control of our series? Oh, by the way, Netflix, we leaving. We out of here. We not trying to support this show and everything like that." Now, I will admit that the creators did leave us a hint of what some fans would love. Honestly, I'm on the percentage of I hated it. I did not like this show. I did not like the direction it was going. If I wanted a remix of the show, I would have had the original creators. That's something they could have did. They could have had like another version of Avatar where they had like a reboot and have a new story where they include new storylines. If that was the case, but Netflix did a huge disservice. And for the people that are watching it for the first time, Avatar: The Last Airbender, I wanted to ask you guys this right now. Please go check out the original series. You will be doing yourself a service of going to check out the original series, because the original series is way better than this garbage that Netflix wanted to give us. I gotta be real about this. This was absolute garbage. And I mean that because I was like, overall, this is not something that I was anticipating. This goes to show you, when Netflix was being selfish about this, it did not want to give creators full control over creative differences. This is what happens. This is what happens when you do not let the creators do what they need to do to make an OG series from the animated compared to this live adaptation crap. Yeah. I'm not even interested. I'm not invested in watching episode 2, 3, 4. No. 1 was enough for me. But have you guys seen Avatar: The Live Adaptation Series? How do you feel about that first episode? Let me know in the comments. And my next question is, do you not like the series because of this whole remix of a storytelling that Netflix wanted to give us? Or are you like, yo, I love what they're doing with this show? You tell me in the comments, guys. It is a blur. Living the word, guys. Thank you so much for commenting, liking, sharing, watching the video. And I am out.